You've got the degree in hand, but now you're standing at an intersection where everyone else seems to be moving at light speed. Some of your peers are grinding away for government jobs. Others are launching startups or jumping straight into the corporate deep end. If you're navigating this crossroads right now, hit the subscribe button and remember to visit PCDS.in for expert guidance to map your next move. The immediate alternatives are loud and demanding. You can take the steady path of public sector exams, accept an entry-level position to start earning immediately, or try to build a business from scratch. But if your goal is to understand high-level business strategy and lead teams, those paths might not get you there fast enough. That transition requires a specialized toolkit. It requires an MBA. The desire to get the degree is clear, but starting the process is a different story. The moment you decide to pursue an MBA, you are hit with a wall of acronyms: CAT, XAT, MAT, CMAT, SNAP. Attempting to pursue an MBA without a structured phase-by-phase execution plan leads straight to analysis paralysis. You just end up staring blankly at heavy exam prep books without knowing if you're even taking the right test. The first step of a successful application has nothing to do with studying. Before you open a single textbook, you have to define the why. Are you looking for leadership roles, a salary increase, or the opportunity to switch career fields? This chart shows how your internal intent dictates the external format of the program you choose. Your why sits at the center, branching out into distinct paths for full-time, executive, and online degrees. If your priority is maximum campus exposure and building an in-person professional network, you follow this path to a traditional 2-year full-time MBA. Conversely, if you are already in the workforce and cannot sacrifice professional momentum, your objective points you toward executive or online formats. A clearly defined purpose serves as your foundation. Without it, you risk spending months preparing for a program that doesn't actually serve your career goals. Once you know the format, you enter the entrance exam maze. In 2026, applicants are facing a gauntlet of tests, ranging from the CAT and XAT to the MAT, CMAT, and SNAP. The most common mistake candidates make at this stage is picking an exam based on name recognition and starting to study, completely blind to what their target schools actually require. This reverse flow map illustrates the correct strategy. You start with your target institutions on the right, and you work backward to see which specific exams on the left they actually accept. For example, if you aim for the top-tier Indian Institutes of Management, or IIMs, the path is rigid. They strictly correlate to the CAT exam. If you are targeting highly ranked private institutions, you have far more flexibility. These programs often map back to the MAT, CMAT, SNAP, or XAT, allowing you to choose the test format that best plays to your academic strengths. Researching your target colleges first automatically defines your preparation. It removes the guesswork and tells you exactly which test you need to conquer. Analytical. Now you have a target. This 3-pillar structural graphic breaks down the components you have to conquer. Almost all MBA entrance exams test these core areas: quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and data interpretation, and verbal ability. Mastering these pillars requires sheer volume. The standard baseline for serious candidates is 4 to 6 hours of dedicated daily study over several months. It also requires a strict routine of weekly mock tests. Taking the test is only half the work. Analyzing exactly why you got a question wrong provides the data you need to adjust your study habits for the following week. On the actual exam day, psychology plays as big a role as knowledge. You have to be tactical. Attempt easy questions first to build mental momentum, and preserve your time for the more difficult challenges. Scoring in the top percentile is rarely a matter of inherent genius. It is the mathematical result of months of disciplined, systematic execution. But here is the reality check. Achieving a flawless quantitative score on exam day does not guarantee you an admission offer. This funnel visualization illustrates what happens next. A massive block of applicants with high test scores enters the top, but they are heavily filtered by a complex mesh. Admissions boards call this the holistic profile. The first layer of this final gauntlet is the group discussion, or GD. This is designed to pressure test your ability to communicate clearly and collaborate with peers in real time. The second layer is the personal interview, or PI. Here, the admissions panel forces you to verbally defend your original Why MBA thesis and articulate exactly what your career goals are. The third element is the written ability test, or WHAT. Schools use these short essay assignments to measure your structured critical thinking regarding current events. Your test scores open the door. Your ability to communicate, reason, and project leadership under pressure is what actually secures your seat in the classroom. After the interviews, all the active work stops. You enter the waiting period. It is a slow, anxious passage of time where your only task is refreshing an inbox, hoping for news. When that admission offer finally arrives, there is one last set of administrative steps. You pay your admission fees, you submit your original documents for verification, and you officially cross the threshold from applicant to student. This grueling, multi-step roadmap serves as the first practical proving ground for your future in business leadership. To navigate from that initial post-graduation confusion to an accepted offer, you had to define a clear purpose, execute a long-term strategy, and prove your value to a board of decision-makers. You had to operate exactly like the leader of a successful company. The process of pursuing the degree begins the transformation long before you attend your first class. If you are ready to take that first step, subscribe to the channel and head over to PCDS.in to find the resources and expert guidance you need to start your MBA journey today.